course. And I plan on bringing you the best internet program on the planet. To be in a position to witness all these miracles. Folks with AIDS are still here that should have been gone. And we're going to do special programs with AIDS all by itself. Folks with strokes are up and walking who've been in wheelchairs for many years. People who are blind without a brain, and said that the brain that controls the eye is gone, now see. People who scheduled to get their legs cut off due to diabetic ulcers still have their legs. People who are deaf now hear. And it's case after case, and there's books I'm going to have you read. One book is called Angel Intelligence by Berg. Angel Intelligence by Berg. That book brought me a long way. Another book is The Wisdom of Florence Shen. These are mandatory readings for my program. Another book, To Be Continued by Berg. That book sat there for weeks, until I had to learn that everything I think I know about stuff, throw it out the window. I know nothing. I didn't know my name anymore. When you get there, folks, God can remake you over. You can be born again, literally, if you get there. If you think you got cancer, out the window. If you think you got diabetes, out the window. Throw everything out the window that you think you know. I'm a chiropractor by profession. I thought I was a very good chiropractor. But I have a passion, have a love. I can do this all day for free. But imagine having a job you do for free and get paid very well for it. We want to help folks who watch this video make miracles. Angel Intelligence taught me that God don't give miracles. You got to go get them. You got angels all around you waiting for you to speak up and tell them what you want. They won't do nothing without being ordered. And no two angels have the same job, and no two angels know what the other one's doing. We have seen miracles, folks. Folks legally blind, 20/60 vision, 20/20 vision in 2 months. We see a miracle, folks. The fat folks, 8 dress sizes in 8 weeks without diet or exercising. And that comes out of the Dead Sea Scrolls that program does. We've seen miracles, folks. We've seen miracles. A lady in Minneapolis that had pain for 35 years with the wisdom water in the conference call was going in 45 minutes. 45 years of what? Pain. We've seen miracles. A lady from Atlanta that had demonic forces chasing her since 2001, nightly. Can you imagine trying to hide from something you can't hide from? One phone call with the wisdom water, it was gone. So it's too late to tell me that things like Alzheimer's and autism can't be turned around. We don't treat nothing. All we do is facilitate. We reprogram the software and watch your body get well. Our issues are coming out of the subconscious. Disease is 87% emotional, 13% nutritional, non-physical. So if you take this program, you're going to have tapping procedures for over 400 diseases. But with that, you're going to have to demonstrate an affirmation. There are websites you can go to on tapping. They get 30,000 people on it per day. And someone said, "Doctor, I know tapping." And she was one of my class, and she's kind of arrogant. And I told her, "You just in kindergarten. Let me get you up to PhD level. You're in kindergarten." Everything has a consciousness. Everything has an awareness. And if we can reprogram your software, we can reprogram your blueprint. It's like being born again, folks. Can you imagine that? I could never get past $30,000 a month income no matter what I did. And the reason why God got my attention and took me out of here, he said, make you think that because I wasn't listening. It was about me, my lifestyle, not anybody else. He said, I gave you a gift, and you didn't listen. You listened to all the doctors you taught. They told you how great you was. He said, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. He took me down, folks, financially, health-wise. But guess what? I'm on my way back up. I'm going to bring everybody up with me at the same time, money and health-wise. He said that you crying over 30 grand a month and you worth millions per month. What I gave you worth millions per month. And I sat back now and said, wow. He said, now I can use you. I'm on my deathbed in the hospital. I asked God, am I going to die? He said, sometimes you got to die before you live. I thought, wow. And he said, you crying over 30 grand a month and what I gave you is worth millions per month. He said, now I can use you. He always give me instructions. He said, I want to show you how to do surgery without knives and needles. Bobby's sitting there. Bobby's a student of mine through her sister. And I met them for a reason. God had it all set up. I'm on my deathbed. He said, now I'm going to have you do surgery without knives or needles. They brought over their sister-in-law. She had a stroke. And this is how she walked, folks. And you couldn't understand her speech. She came over. We did a visit. She paid her money. I saw her. And in 30 minutes, and these are my witnesses, she was up dancing and singing, walking like she never had a stroke. I did my first surgery on her. Had another one come in about a month later. I heard about her that had a stroke in 1989, couldn't feel her leg. We did surgery on her, and she got her feeling back in her leg. And while she was on the table, and I'm going to demonstrate today what the end game is, she was on a table in a comatose state, and she kept moving her arm. And she was there for the leg. I kept saying, why? Your arm? She said, doctor, I couldn't move my arm this far from birth. I said, move it. Full range of motion, folks. God don't do physical therapy. He fixes. And quickly. So I've seen miracles happen. And guess what? I'm nothing special. This is teachable. If you understand that God allowed us after 1987 to get out of the third dimension. What is the third dimension? All your senses are there. That's where lack, pain, poverty, cancer, disease, disappointment lives. Jesus Christ and we're in the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension. And the gate opened up December 21st, 2012, called the shift. Everybody here heard of the shift before? Yes. That means that we all can walk into the fourth dimension if we choose to. I'm in the fifth now, folks. Hallelujah. And you guys get to the fifth, He's going to put you up to the sixth. So I'm teaching you why, because I'm greedy. I'm greedy. The possibilities for a person to never meet me, get on a conference call, can only raise 6 and 8 inches, full range of motion in that leg in 10 minutes on the conference call. God said, do surgery on him tonight. We did it, and it worked. So what I want to do now, folks, is I want to demonstrate. And if you're in this classroom, you'll be able to download the notes. What you call that little thing, folks? You stick in the computer? Huh?
Your stick.
Your stick.
USB jump drive.
And if you're not on the Wisdom Water, and if or not a student, we're going to teach you what you can learn. It won't be free. We're going to teach folks how they can rebalance their body, get rid of diabetes like Matabo did. Matabo, come up, please. Robin, you coming up next.
Okay.
So now this is Matabo. He's going to be one of our health coaches, and I'm going to show you all our health coaches at the end. Now, Matabo got started 3 weeks from today. You were a size 48 jeans. What are you today?
40.
40. Did you exercise?
Yes.
Okay. Did you diet?
No.
So you lost 8 pant sizes in 3 weeks. Was it difficult?
No.
All it was this stuff here, folks. There's wisdom water. And these drops are powerful. Now, you were a diabetic 3 weeks ago. What was your blood sugar trending?
240, 250s.
And how many years was it like that?
2 years.
And you paid $300 a month for the medication.
Yep.
And you said that you were getting bigger in weight instead of smaller.
Actually,
Now, what is your blood sugar now?
this morning was 94.
Without medication, folks.
Wow.
I stopped taking it.
God don't treat, He heals.
Wow.
So I want folks who are watching this teaser video that got diabetes, take the course or buy the wisdom water. It's accessible to you. Okay, thanks a lot, Matabo.
Sure.
This is privileged information that most folks would never get. You would have never thought that I can wave my hand and do surgery on someone I never met by waving my hand and they move their feet within 5 minutes. Everybody here would have the capacity to do that if you throw out everything you think you know. Us church folks throw out everything we think we know. Because when I read the book, To Be Continued, it was unnerving. But God had to work with me. He said the guy that had AIDS that you saw in 2005, went to see him in Gary, Indiana. Before I got there, all he asked, Dr. Vincent, it's the end of October. We have a family dinner every November for Thanksgiving. Can you give me an extra week to live so I can tell everybody goodbye? Extra week. He said, I'm dead in 3 weeks. I'll drive down to his house, come in the living room, and he had his 4 siblings there from Boston, from Kentucky, from Chicago there, dividing his property. And when I saw him, I gotta tell you what I thought. Oh, he's dead. 6'4", skin and bones, hole in his throat, couldn't walk, he's dead. And God, like, rebuked me. No, he's not through me. I heard it. And the fellow called me up to the living room. They're having a family meeting. It's not my business. I'm listening when he give it away, of course. Ain't my business. Who would give away all their stuff if they're preparing to live? No one will. And so he called me and said, Dr. Vincent, come here. It was strange. What's that buzzy noise? It was strange. Work that buzzy noise, okay? It was strange. He said, Dr. Vincent, that buzzy noise gotta stop to give me a headache, so you gotta cut it off, cut it off. It was strange. He asked me, what do you think? And I don't know why I said this. Come on in. I don't know why I said this. And out of my mouth, out of such arrogance, as I think about it now, folks said Dr. Vincent used to be so arrogant. I don't remember being arrogant, but however, God will put you in check. Trust me, folks. He put me in check. And for my own good. I said to them, I don't know why you're going over his will. He ain't gonna die. All we saw was death. Skin and bones. But I know what God told me in that kitchen. This stuff here, folks. The tapping points for AIDS. We gave him a treatment. It took 1 visit. Also saw him again the following week. They didn't call. I saw him in Michigan. We came to Michigan for reasons I couldn't see him in that demonic house of his. We gave him a treatment. I told them that I can't see you here. I can't vibrate high here because all of the church folks send this guy with AIDS because he's gay to hell. Everybody gonna pray for you but see you to hell in your own house. And I had to reprogram him to hell with those church folks. What they're saying, you're a child of God and he loves you. Brought him to Michigan. Got a treatment. Told them that when they call, because people tend to disrespect what we do. They will go see the doctor, leave their home, and want you to do a house call as if yours not important. I have a fee. I charge $200 an hour, and it starts when I leave my house. I said it's $800 to get me out of Gary, $200 for the visit. $1,000 going to cost you for me to see your brother. They said, no problem. Of course he's dying, he got money, so the brother said, no problem. I got down there, I couldn't see him. I said, the Spirit said, I can't see you here. I said, I got a nice home in Michigan. We're going to caravan. We came in 3 cars. I said, I pay for your gas. How are you guys nice? And I'll feed you guys. He's coming to Michigan. They came to Michigan. He was seen. They left the next morning. I said, call me and tell me how he's doing. Keep in mind, they blew my phone up for weeks before. They leave Michigan, never get a phone call. Thanksgiving happened. My secretary said, Doctor, he's dead. He's dead. I said, at least give me a phone call. Because I'm getting upset because why?
Courtesy.
Courtesy. They came to Michigan. I paid for everything. I gave them a $1,000 bill and put void on it. And then gave them the product for free. Disrespect. And if they see this video, disrespect. Now, and some said that he didn't pass. We get him on the phone the 23rd or 24th of December, the guy that come walk out Christmas shopping. Weighed 140. By the end of February, he weighed 210, 220. And I have not seen that fellow since then. My best friend goes to the church with the family. And I said, I'm pissed with the family. I'm pissed with him. And he said, Mike, I haven't seen him in some time, but he went for a jog the following week. Just the universe. He said, I jog about an hour during my lunch break. And I know my turnaround point because if not, I don't got time to get back and shower. He said that day, I jogged 10 minutes past my point of return. I turned around and knocked down this muscular model handsome fellow almost. It was a guy that could have been dead. Remember the universe and God.
What was the name?
And he said that he had my number in his phone within 10 seconds. So, was he embarrassed? This is a doctor-patient relationship. Nobody should know your business.
Right.
But however, all I wanted was just a phone call or a text you, doctor, I'm still living, thank you.
Yeah.
So I've seen that, folks. I've seen kids. We got 6 cases where parents believe autism turned around. And we have people ready to talk to family members, but they don't believe it. They say, Dr. Vincent, I don't believe it. Well, then you're correct. If you don't believe it, you're not going to do a darn thing I say. They're going to keep autism. Or Alzheimer's, I don't believe it. Or folks say, Dr. Vincent, you got to convince me. I'm not in the convincing business. If your doctors tell you have cancer, you're on the table getting chemotherapy without even getting a second opinion. I'm not in the convincing business. I'm in the consciousness business. I want to take you where he who can heal everything can heal everything. I got my I am shirt on underneath. I am who I am because of who he is, folks, underneath. But I know that this is teachable. I know that pain is simple. I'm a chiropractor. I know that any of my students can outdo any chiropractor for pain and treat anybody on the planet from one location. I know that. So what we want to do is what? We want to start by showing folks the end. This is Enoch. And you'd be surprised, I asked at least 10 or 12 pastors who Enoch was, church folks. They don't know who he was. All they know, he was a man after God, a man who walked with God. All they know. If God put Enoch in Genesis, he had to be important. If your father's going to tell you a story, the first part of the story get your attention, right? But no one researched him. He has over 365 books. And I'm told, Dr. Vincent, he's not a King James Version. Don't worry about it. Total ignorance. It's called King James Version for a reason. And I tell folks this, church folk. If King James was here today, had a church, you wouldn't go there because he was a homosexual. And he slept with his own mom. Look at the research. You wouldn't go to his church. But every word he put in that book, you're going to go by because it's his version. Read other texts, folks. Like the lost books of the Bible. Read other things. Open your mind. Maybe some folks call Dr. Vincent an outcast because he thinks differently religiously. No, I'm going to read every text. Hindu, Sanskrit, no matter what it is, because why? One religion don't have all knowledge. You get bits and pieces, folks. So now, this is Enoch. Enoch was the great-grandfather, number 7, of all the patriarchs of Noah. Noah said, I took the Proverbs of Enoch into the ark. What we read now, folks, Enoch stuff. Enoch was so important, folks, that God took him up so he wouldn't know death. Enoch was so important, folks, that the archangels got mad at God because he put a human being that lived on the planet as their boss when he went to heaven, folks. Research. Powerful. And he wrote all these books. And when God told me, I was flying from LA to go learn Enoch. That's why I was fasting and praying, folks. Go learn Enoch. I heard him on the plane clearly, like you hear my voice. I land. I had an appointment to see this office space in Detroit. This is how God works. I heard a voice. It was an open atrium. That I know that voice. I said, Big Mouth, get down here. This is Dr. Vincent. We haven't saw each other 3 or 4 years. We started hugging and talking. I said, so, what you been doing? Dr. Vincent, I just got back from a seminar in LA. I got back from an Enoch convention. What? Give me your note, because God knows I'm lazy. I started reading her notes, started doing research, and I couldn't get past the first 7 pages. It's that hard to read. Anybody try reading that book before? Mm-hmm. Hard, isn't it? Yes. None but God, folks. I did a fast, and he translated that. You get this in this course. And I look at that document now and wrote, what brilliant guy wrote this document? It was me. I thought I wrote this. God can do anything. I finally got the breakthrough. I was in Kroger's. I was howling and screaming like I had the Holy Ghost in Kroger's. He said, this man's crazy. But I didn't care. They just didn't understand. So now Enoch, I had a chance to show the group in Chicago. We had meetings there. They flew from Atlanta, St. Louis. They came from D.C. just to this seminar. Free on Fridays. And a guy came down from Minneapolis. And the guy came down, his foot was stuck for 4 or 5 years, and the Mayo Clinic couldn't unstick it. I thought it's only your ankle. Have anybody ever sprained an ankle before? It's very hard to live, isn't it? Hard to live. I thought it's only your ankle. I said it to myself. He said, doctor, I play basketball, I run, I'm very active. Because I thought that he's older. he was 67. So what? You got an ankle still right at 67, right? And God said, demonstrate Enoch. I'm like Moses at the burning bush. I said, God, we have church folks in here. We have witnesses in here. We have Hindus in here. We have Muslims in here. We have atheists in here and agnostics in here. He said, show it. I thought that I would get stoned after I got done. I did the technique, and the man got up with a blank stare. We taught that blank stares means they're having a heart attack, okay? He wouldn't answer my question. I said, are you okay? A blank stare. And the man told me, this is the first time my ankle moved in 6 years. Everybody was astonished. Everybody received Enoch in the room, the opposite that I thought. And the next morning, I get a phone call from a 773 number about 10 minutes to 7. And went to the voicemail. I called him back, and the man said, Dr. Vincent, you don't know me. He said, but I am a politician from Minneapolis. He said that I was on my way to Obama's, I was on my way to D.C., and my sister-in-law got very sick, and we got to miss going to D.C. He said that I got 2 tickets to one of Obama's best inauguration balls. I want to give them to you. First African-American president. I could have got $15,000 per ticket. I know folks who wanted those tickets. Wow. And for him to give me that kind of compliment, I was in tears. I said, sir, I'm not big in crowds, but I love politics. I said that if you give me those tickets, I'm going to have 30 grand in my pocket tonight. You keep those tickets, you sell them. Tonight. But if he said, go ahead and take them and sell them, I would have. But I want to let him know what I was going to do with those tickets, okay? Out of fairness. But then I saw that. And I got to go on in Enoch. I thought everything God showed me so far has worked brilliantly. The next section was how to raise the dead. I stopped. And she said that she's going to raise the dead. I stopped and give you directions how to raise the dead. Enoch said that when you take the biological system and attach it to the higher star points, you have a new super science called medical astronomy. Church folks want to hear that word. Everything's out there, God put it there, has a function. And these women get mad when I say that. These saints. You have your period because the moon controls your period. You can't change that. The moon. And I know for a fact, I live in Flint, Michigan. I know for a fact, and I like wingdings from a restaurant in the hood. I know for a fact, if it's full moon, I ain't going up there. I know for a fact. Because I call that place, when it's a full moon, Little Iraq.
Things happen. Yeah.
And we don't want to discuss that. The food you eat is grown by the moon phase. You don't think they have an effect on you. If you don't believe in it, go lay down on low tide and fall asleep. And you're going to learn through this program, the most powerful thing in our universe is our sun, S-U-N. The wind that you breathe comes from solar wind, and wind is spirit. We got to get past all this dogma that we're taught. I've seen miracles happen when I did what? Threw everything out I think I knew. Just imagine you're in severe debt, throw that out, and make it 0, and God can put 6 digits behind it. Isn't that powerful, folks?
Yes.
Just imagine that. Just imagine all the stuff in your childhood that you went through. It's now erased. You can paint the canvas which you want to paint it. This is a powerful system. It's a powerful program. It's only $150. It's cheap. You will get a doctor in metaphysics through one of the doctors out of Chicago, Dr. Armstrong, through the Word while you're in the church. 200 hours of training with me. You will get most of those hours on the internet. You'll be done by Christmas. Why didn't I pick a naturopathic program? Because this is unequal. We had about, my last boot camp, we got a boot camp coming up in October. We had 80 people. Were you at the boot camp? Were you there when that kid spoke up and said, Dr. Vincent, hopefully we didn't drive from New York all the way here for nothing. You hear that comment? Naturopathic. And usually, I got a sharp tongue quickly, folks. The guy worked on me. And I told him, by the end of this boot camp, by Sunday, you're going to know that you and I are nowhere equal. Nowhere equal. So, when the students came, we had class the next day, and I wanted to bring this arrogant naturopath up. We're going to do scar tissue. What's scar tissue? Why don't you touch her? I touched him first. Touch her right here. She went nuts on the table. Nothing in your training prepared for that. By me touching him, imprinting in him to touch the scar tissue, go back to the event that caused the scar. She went back going through the windshield in 1989, howling and screaming from the whole room. We have it all videotape. And I didn't say a word to him until Sunday. I got to get them back. Do you understand what I said to you? I'm 22. You and I are nowhere equal. But if you humble yourself, you can be far better than me. Far better than me. I don't know no naturopath equal to none of my students. For pain, no MD, no chiropractor, no physical therapist, but to my students. For diabetes, none. We don't fix nothing. We just facilitate the motion. Okay, Robin, come up, please. This is Robin, one of your health coaches. On your back, please. This is the end game. When you can get this to this level, that means that you're at the fourth dimension.
Said it for you, Kathy.
Now you're gonna see Robin thin in 4 or 5 months. She getting thinner, folks.
I am.
I told them you cannot be a health coach unless you lose weight. At least progressing. On your back, glasses off.
Yes.
Okay. I want you guys to watch the rise and fall of her abdomen and watch her eyes. This is called Enoch. Adam and Eve had a connection to the higher star points. When they screwed up, God cut off that connections. He made them an AM station versus FM station. If you had a choice of which one you would pick, what would you pick?
FM.
Why don't we make her an FM station today? How was that? Close your eyes, please. Now, watch her abdomen. And I want you guys to watch her eyes. Hopefully you can see the eyes on the video. She's under. She's in her own little world right now. Come up with your eyes. Come on up. Come on up with your eyes. Come on. See this going on? This is the best possible treatment you can give anybody, and this is what you're going to learn to do. She has no control what's going on. She's in the hands of God, folks. She's in theta brainwave. Have a seat, please. This is going to be, this may take a 30, 45 minutes. We're going to teach around it. This is what you get on the internet. On Montalvo's special call. This is what they call remote treatments that cost $1,000 per visit on the internet, and you get this as a student. You get this with the wisdom water for free. You lay down in your own home and you watch what happens. We're going to do 1,000 folks per day when it builds up for strokes that lost their range of motion, for diabetes, for ED. This here, folks, is where we're going, because this is where, when we got started in the beginning, that was available. We're going back to what used to be. Who did the healing initially? The priests in the temples, right? They lay hands on people. Energy is neither created or destroyed. Well, we got to do what? We're reprogramming her software. The subconscious is the part of the body that make you who you are. As a man thinketh, so is he. The subconscious is where all the lack, all the disease, everything going wrong in your body comes out of the subconscious. We got to do what? We got to change the software in the subconscious, upgrade it to the fourth dimension where lack can't live, cancer can't live, AIDS can't live. And this is why we said that we're creating miracles for folks who want miracles. Everybody won't believe in this. Folks say, doctor, I don't believe in what you do. Okay, it's not your season yet. I don't give you more arguments. No more arguments. It's not your season. But do you believe that you're sick now with cancer? Oh yes, I believe that. Well, we're in agreement.
Don't claim it.
We're in agreement.
Claim it.
So she has no control over this. By boot camp, you should be here. The folks who start this program on July 8th will be here by boot camp. Some of you will be here after today. By me doing it, all your 100 trillion cells are remembering that you can do it. I'm not teaching you anything new. I'm just have you remember what you forgot. I'm so convinced that every cell in the body knows everything, knows every language. You are an astrophysicist. You are an English teacher and don't know it. And don't know it. The guy with AIDS, this is what we did for him. And I'm saying this because I want folks to understand where we're going. If this part concerns you, maybe this course you don't want to take. We had to take them back to a past life over 1,000 years ago and ask the body to pull up that immune system to this lifetime, because it was the only immune system he had in all the past lives to kill his AIDS virus. And it did it. The book, to be continued, has to be read. As church folks, we can't get past that. And I still got a problem with it. But his AIDS didn't care what got rid of it, right?
That's right.
It's my issue that I'm uncomfortable with that. Many religions, most folks on this planet believe in past lives, except of church folks, pretty much. You know that? So, in a matter of days, folks, he should have been dead 8 years ago. Dead. Modern medicine, dead. Buried, dead. Still here like he had nothing. She has no control over what she's doing. Folks say, doctor, you like to show off. I do sometimes, because God's showing off. Never God. Nothing but God. So this is the end game. When I tell you to lay down on the floor, take the wisdom water, this is what folks are doing. Everybody on the call. I move my hands and the Lord goes to work. So now, this is the book that you're going to need for the course. This is a book. This book were what, $8 to $10. Now they're regular price. I'm told they all sold out. You want to buy these books, when I mention the book, you buy it. You think you're going to wait and save some money, you're going to pay more money. We had a lot of books here available for used. There's no more used books left. This your book?
No.
We'll pay $75 now for it.
Oh.
They cost $8 to $10. But guess what? Whatever it takes to get the education, you pay for it. You pay for it. Now, while our friends here is having fun, what book is this? Mine or yours?
Yours.
We're going to go over some things for the folks on the Wisdom Water. You're going to get a packet like this. In the packet will be our weight loss program. There's no reason why to be fat. Come up here, Miss Darlene. This is going to be one of our health coaches. So we both have a history of weight. I had liposuction done. Gained 15 pounds. Had nightmares for 6 months. She had stomach bypass surgery done, and she did wonderful. But I know 10 families personally that had stomach bypass surgeries done, and their loved ones passed. Her doctor said that he lost no one to stomach bypass surgeries. I would question that. Because everyone that died, the doctor said it had nothing to do with the surgery. Well, why would they say 31 years old, overweight, died. 26 died after the surgery. But of course, they're not going to admit it. So she started the weight loss program, and she was a little chunkier, but guess what? She's getting thin. She's getting thin. Are you going toward your weight that you desire?
Yes.
This is Darlene. She'll be one of your health coaches. As you order Wisdom Water, we're going to sign you a health coach. By October, like the guy last night with the stroke, couldn't move his foot 6 inches. Now all the way up in 10 minutes. Okay, thanks, Darlene. So if you're fat, and I watched a show yesterday, of these men bringing their wives and girlfriends on this talk show because they were fat. And the audience thought they weren't fat. They were fat. Clothes lie. They were fat. And I realized that we've changed what fat is. Everybody's getting obese, so now fat is now thin. You follow me? Like 40 is the new 20 or whatever it is now thin. No. If you got rolls and when you been over to dry your legs, the water come out, you're fat. Lose the fat. Very simple. Matavo. 8 pen sizes. Tony's not here, but she lost 30 pounds in 3 weeks. Female. What's in these bottles, folks, is wonderful. I put it in a plastic bottle because they've been breaking. Somehow, everything that goes to Houston get them broke. And I watched a lady down there today just take the boxes and throw them in a bin. So I got to put them in bottles, in plastic if I can. And guess what? I have them wrapped thick, and they still break them. So the weight loss program. Make sure we get her pretty good, okay? She's our model. She has no control of what's going on. Don't be afraid of this, folks. You want this. Our weight loss program is Wisdom Water. You put an ounce of this into a gallon of distilled water. One ounce. And you're going to shake it up about 50 times. Right. And drink down a half gallon to a gallon per day. It all depends on how much you weigh and what you got to lose. You can take that, put it in a hot bathtub, it melts cellulite. You can take that, put it in a hot bathtub, and you're going to get these charts with your packet. If you're not on Wisdom Water or a student, you won't get all the information. We're going to tease you with it. Education cost. If you think that's costly, try ignorance. Okay, now, you're going to take this hand, all the dark spots in the bathtub. We had a blood pressure of 222 over like 140 out of Texas. She had money, millionaire, no doctor could solve her problem. We had her take the Wisdom Water and the drops under the tongue. The drop under the tongue. You squeeze the bulb, let air in, keep it squoze, put it in, let it go, and it goes in that far under the tongue 4 or 5 times a day. She did that. I get to the airport the next morning in Houston. I get a text, Dr. Vincent, my blood pressure is like 124 over 86 for the first time in 7 years. All she did was got in the water, hot water, no soap, and she tapped these on the hands. High blood pressure 2, high blood pressure 3, high blood pressure 4, high blood pressure 5. But guess what? She tapped this picture. If you got diabetes, it'll lower it. If you got pain in the water, hands and feet under the water, it will lower it. So you want to get this weight loss program. It's going to tell you that 1 ounce of this and a gallon of the still water. This is made for the still water. No other water. So don't text me Metabo. No. The still water. The drops under the tongue. This is a 2-month supply for the average person. If you're fat, you're going to need 2 of these. You may need to pay $225. Buy a 4-month supply. It's going to last you 3 months. And you want to do the tapping codes. The tapping codes. If you're on the Wisdom Water, you have this all in front of you. But everything needs an affirmation. I want everybody to watch me carefully. You say an affirmation by doing this. Karate chop. You're going to learn in some of my advanced classes, we pray with our hands for a reason. They're powerful. God said that I wrote everything in water with my finger. God got hands, folks. That's from the book of creation, but we're not going to go there yet. I got to get you guys trusting me first, because take you too far, you're going to run. He said, I made everything that ever existed with writing it in water. Then he said, anything I made, I hid it in your heart because you won't look for it there.
Jesus.
Then he said, I made everything with 10 digits and 22 numbers. 22 letters. The 22 letters I put in your voice box. As a man saith, so is he. In your voice box. That's the power of the ha, ya, that. Folks get afraid of those words. But I'm told that Moses said that at the Red Sea to open up the Red Sea. So if it can open up the Red Sea, what can it do for your Red Sea? And then he said, I put the 10 digits in your finger and your toes. The 10 digits, folks, are the 10 veils. Whoever heard going behind the veil? And I put the 22 letters in your palm. He said, Mike, I gave you a gift to touch water and put the I am that I am in there by touching water, folks, and speaking into it. That's my gift. Then, now we can move these. You're going to realize as you study, God has gods underneath him. He has his posse, folks. All these are names of gods that God put underneath him to help you. This seems strange, folks, but just pay attention what these hands can do. So when we pray, folks, we praying to the gods and to God himself. 22 letters, 10 digits. Powerful. So when we do an affirmation, we're doing what? Activating all the letters and all of the digits. Does it make sense? Let's do an affirmation for weight loss. Now this is the affirmation if you're in the whiz water. Even though I am fat, due to a malfunction of the leptin signals from the brain to the liver, I deeply and truly accept myself. You always start with this. Even though I am fat, due to a malfunction of the leptin signals from the brain to the liver, I deeply and truly accept myself. Any affirmation always start with what I call Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Okay.
I call them the bad Negroes, okay? That's what we start with, okay? They had attitude. They say, King, no matter what, this fire is 7 times hotter than what it should be. Your man that built the fire got burnt up in the fire. No matter what you do, I don't care. Because I got God.
Amen.
I got God. And so when we do stuff, folks, like you get a compass and face north, all this means something. North was the most powerful of the 12 tribes. The powerful one. South was the praise tribes. He put 3 tribes in the north, 3 in the south, 3 in the east, 3 in the west. It all means something, folks. This is all biblical. All biblical. What word that lady used the other day?
Hoopla.
Hoopla. This is hoopla, folks. Hoopla. It's all biblical. Throw everything out you think you know how to get well, you will get well.
Absolutely.
You will get well. So now, you have to start with an affirmation. Even though ... Even though got to be first, put everything in the middle that we find and end with the south. Judah, praise. I deeply and truly accept myself is the south. You start with the north, the 3 back Negroes, and end with praise. Can you imagine that the king was upset? Can you imagine? They didn't smell like smoke or get singed at all. Can you imagine how the king felt? He probably wanted to behead him. Guess what? God had to protect it. You follow me? The head cuts off, it glue back on again. He can do anything. So you gotta always start with an affirmation. So today's class is going through the whole packet. This is part of your first class for affirmations. Guess what? There's a spot here over the chest. It's called your point of lymphatic congestion. This part here will scratch the record where it won't play diabetes the same way again. Find it on yourself. It's tender. It's tender. She's still happy. It's tender.
Where is it again?
Come up, please. I'll show you. Now, if you don't look like her, folks, when you find it, you know something wrong. Okay. Okay, now. Tender spot. Okay. See how she look, folks? Here you go. Okay, now. That's it. Right over the heart. Fine. You gotta move it around. Okay, good. Move it around. Okay, now. So, you want to find it in the same affirmation. Even though I'm fat.
Even though I'm fat.
Twist clockwise. Even though I'm fat. Due to a malfunction from the leptin signals from the brain to the liver, I deeply and truly accept myself. Say it twice. You just scratch the record where it can no longer play the same way again. It may still play, but it's going to play differently. After that, folks, you got to do the affirmation, the demonstration here, here. And then you have tapping codes. You only have these codes if you're on the help from the Wisdom Water or the classroom. You folks who get in a free demonstration, you and I have all these codes for free. We want folks to spend the money that they spend to get fat, to lose the weight. Invest. Now, the first one, folks, you got to look at your code sheet. You will need these two ones side by side. These should be in front of you. Now, you have a code sheet here that tells you where they're at. The first code is LF, little finger. You find little finger on your chart, right here. Hit the dark spot in the exact place. Go fast. I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. Now the code sheet says 20. We don't do that. We change that. Remember, I'm saying I'm fat 1, but I'm pausing in between. I'm fat 1, 2, 3. No. I'm fat 1. Tap, 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 tap. I'm fat 2. Tap, 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 tap. You want to pause in between, and that's going to be about 20 points. And you're saying I'm fat with it, more powerful. The next point would be T. Find T on your chart. These are side by side. Do this with me. And T's right here. I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. In the middle. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. Now make sure you hit this point exactly where the point's at. The next point, folks, is going to be double tap. That's a hard one. The sheet says double tap is hit the same time, A, E, and T, E. You got to go find out what A, E is and what T, E is to do it. I like doing what? I like to smash my thumb, this point together. I like to smash the top of my palm. Smash it. I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. Now the next point will be AE. That's above ear. Look at your chart. Above ear. I'm fat 1. Above the ear. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. The next one is OE. Look at your code sheet. Opposite side of the eye. I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. Now the next one from there would be little finger again. You do each code in sequence. Don't say I did that once already. No. Each code is a sequence. What are you doing? You playing a symphony. Every time you hit a point, it's a musical note. Isn't that crazy? I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. I gotta get some more wisdom water so I can stay wise. Now the next one again, folks, is double tap. I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. The next one is C. If you got the wisdom water, you're a student. You have this packet already. C is going to be not in the middle, but next to the C spot. I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. Now you're going to do every point on there. It was on your sheet is for a reason. Folks say, doctor, I did the top points only. Why would the other points be there? Not important. Come on now. This is common sense, folks. How many folks do just the top one only? It's common sense. The next one, folks, is back of hand. Look at your chart. Back of hand is going to be right here. I like to put my hand in the groove here with 2 or 3 fingers. I'm fat 1. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. Now the next one is C. Top of the chest again. I'm fat 1. In the center. I'm fat 2. I'm fat 3. I'm fat 4. I'm fat 5. Now Now the next one is under nose. I'm fat 1.
I'm fat 1.
I'm fat 2.
I'm fat 2.
I'm fat 3.
I'm fat 3.
I'm fat 4.
I'm fat 4.
I'm fat 5.
I'm fat 5.
Now the 2 more to go. Back of hand again. I'm fat 1.
I'm fat 1.
I'm fat 2.
I'm fat 2.
I'm fat 3.
I'm fat 3.
I'm fat 4.
I'm fat 4.
I'm fat 5.
I'm fat
The last one is C again. They gotta be done in this order. I'm fat 1.
I'm fat 1.
I'm fat 2.
I'm fat 2.
I'm fat 3.
I'm fat 3.
I'm fat 4.
I'm fat 4.
I'm fat 5.
I'm fat 5.
So we just reprogrammed your subconscious to lose weight. That with the wisdom water is powerful. And you can lay down flat and get deprogrammed. Powerful. I'm gonna bring somebody up in a minute. Hey, Miss. Hi. Welcome back to Earth. Now you want to make sure when you start doing treatments, folks, that when you sit up first for a minute, because folks have gotten up. And Lord behold, I forgot to tell them to sit up first. The heaviest person I had fell towards me. So guess what? I will never forget that again. How do you feel, Robin?
I feel great.
So where did you visit?
I don't know.
Peaceful, wasn't it?
Peaceful, light.
Light. Brotherhood of light. Okay, have a seat, please.
Thank you.
Okay, now, let's see.